Y'all, this KingBritneyChanel. Did y'all... I need y'all to tell me if y'all seen Joy's fam, her parents. Honey, they done did a tour of K's condo. Honey, did y'all see it? It's what I'm asking y'all. Before we get started, honey, before we get into this, I need y'all to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time I release a video. Frequent the channel so that you can receive more notifications. And let's get into this commentary on this.
I already know it's your girl, Britney Chanel.
Honeys, we need to get into the honey for today's tea, darling. I said we need to get into the honey for today's tea. Okay? If you are new to this channel, honey for the tea represents Yahweh's truth and his promises and how we can apply that to, everyday life and have a positive outlook on these, not so pleasant situations, okay? Because that's how we keep, hope and our faith and in him, okay? Even when things look grim, he is that beacon of light for us, okay? He's the way, the truth, and the life, okay? Also, if you are new to this channel, I want you all to know that we do use lingo on this channel, okay, for YouTube purposes, because, that's what we do over here. Is, a lot of stuff you can't really say on these YouTube streets anymore, and that's just how it has to be. Like, I don't want to get them comments, in the comment section acting like you just not up to speed, or that it's some special concern about the capacity up there, okay, up top, okay? Just peep game. A lot of people, you'll notice in the comment section, they'll, they talk like how I'm talking, or, they know what I'm talking about. So if you're not sure, just ask instead of assuming, because you don't want to be that person. Now, baby, did y'all see that Tim and them, Tim and his wife, I call her JS, honey, they don't put up a tour of K's condo, honey, at the condo in the Shy, honey, by the Green Waters. And honey, I was like, oh nah, there are some areas of concern. Now I know it's a lot of people that's K supporters, and maybe they were into his public image and the charisma and all of that celebrities have, that real people in, and they kind of buy into who the person is from their public persona. But it definitely was some areas, honey, in that place of concern. Okay, like the area speaks for itself. Like, as they're going from room to room, and they did put on the record, like, I didn't put the tour in this thing because I want y'all to go and watch it for yourselves on their channel. Their channel is literally like the in their last name. Like, all you got to do is type in the in their last name, and their channel comes up and the videos come up, okay? Yeah, but anyway, y'all, they put on the record like they were able to do this with permission. It wasn't like they just went in there and kind of like set their way up to get in there and stuff like that. They did put that on the record, and they also encouraged people, from his supporters and people, to go and research, to go and pull the paperwork, the records, to go, when the try happens later this year, go and sit down in there so that you can see for yourself. Because a lot of people, they're caught up in the hoopla of, some of these women are lying, which they may have a point with some of that, okay? I don't believe like every single person that has came out, but I do believe, and I'm gonna say this, but I do believe that K is responsible for a lot of things. Whether or not it's these women that have just recently resurfaced, who knows? You feel me? But I will say that I do believe that he is responsible for a lot of things that he's going through right now. And I feel like in the climate, in the era that we're in, especially right now, where they are doing a sweep, honey. Like I said, Kay ain't the only one that was out here on some other type of time, if y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? That has this little strange type of time going on, okay? We ain't gotta get into that. But he was doing a lot of stuff he didn't have no business doing. And because things happened to him when he was a youth, he grew up, you know, and then got into that industry, which is a very dark place, honey. We don't gotta go down that road. Very dark place. And kind of mirrored that same behavior that he probably learned as a youth, and then probably also in that whole, you know, industry probably learned some things as well. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because, like, during the tour, y'all, which please go and look at the tour, it was so, oh my goodness, like, you could tell, like, Joy's mom, she was talking about some of the artwork, like, she kind of made notice, like, you know, or brought attention to, like, y'all should look at some of that artwork he has up in his place. Okay, a lot of people think that, you know, we're just in a world to where, you know, things happen because it's just unfairness, or things just happen, or, you know, people just, you know, are who they seem on the surface. No. We know that the enemy oftentimes masquerades as an angel of light. We know this, okay? So, like I said, we are, you know, it's light versus dark, and I'm not talking about like colors as far as like people, and good versus evil in this world, you know, righteous versus, you know, wicked people in this world, okay? And that's clearly what we are seeing when we are looking at some of this artwork. It definitely seems like it's an off energy with it. Like it kind of was like inspired by some offness, okay? Like if you look at some of it, like the symbolism and all kind of stuff, like if you get into that. But anyway, also something that was very, I would say, just off to me, y'all, was when they showed the picture of the McDonald's, okay, miniature model by the window. Okay, I was like, first of all, why does a person like a K have a miniature model of his own personal, like, McDonald's by a window? Like what are you doing? Like, you know, are you what is he doing with this thing, y'all? And then, like, when Joy's mom, like, the camera went inside and you could see like the details of it. It was so, when I tell y'all, I don't know what type of time this man is on, but I think this dude is Gatorade, throw the towel in, done. It's definitely some off activity here. And I think a lot of people, they don't really want to see, they don't want to see the truth. They don't want to hear it. They are so, like, they're into idol worship. So they it's like, it doesn't matter what you say, they're not going to believe it. That's why I personally feel like people need to go to that whole, like they said, the try situation. Because even though, like, even you may not believe some of these women that was maybe on the series or any of that, but I'm sure, and besides that, like, there's a lot of public, like I said, information and paperwork that people could go look up themselves. A person is not gonna have claim after claim after claim after claim or whatever, and they're just not doing anything. You feel what I'm saying? And they've been for years, I believe, like, you know, like how what they do, they build on a person before they kind of come and pick them up. But I feel like definitely now more than ever, like, a lot of people don't know, like, a lot of these little people that they look up to and they fan out over is be on some off type of time. And that's all I gotta say. Like, you know, everybody don't serve the Most High God, okay? They on some other type of time. That's all I'm gonna say with that. Now, y'all, when they showed the inside of the model, the McDonald's model, and it had a picture of him and it's somebody, like, I don't know, one of his other family members in there, I was like, what is going on here? Did y'all see it? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Did you see, and kind of just, kind of be professional in the comment section, because y'all know how it is on here, in these YouTube streets. Y'all know how it is on here. If you say certain stuff, that your comments don't get through and all of that other stuff. Like, I literally had like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments that I had to go through, because people are not being you gotta kind of be chill on YouTube. You feel me? You gotta say what you want to say, but you kind of have to do it in a way. You feel me? Like, the YouTube streets is not the same as they once were. Okay, it just is what it is. That's what we dealing with. But y'all did tell me if y'all seen the miniature McDonald's by the window. I was like, oh no, sir. That is so weird to me. I've never seen no grown individual that was not like a woman that has, children or something like that. Like, I've never seen it. Like, some people, they do have little collectibles, or they may have model towns and stuff like that, to where, or they're building something for construction work. I've never seen where, like, on the inside, y'all, was so weird. He named it like, it's almost like as if he never maybe grew up almost. It's the weirdest thing. But I'm thinking, y'all, like I said, like, a lot of those people that get into the whole the biz, I'ma call it anyway, stuff happens to them, like, in their youth or whatever, and it's just like they make the perfect, after that they make like the perfect people for them to, because they're vulnerable people for them to use for certain stuff or whatever. But I was like, yo, what is going on here? And then the saddest thing about it is, it's like, this man was worth so much money. And it was like Home Depot boxes of stuff. Like, so you didn't have nowhere to put your stuff. Nobody put your stuff in storage for you. Like, what was going on? Or I'm wondering, was it still there because they're, the La Policia, are they still going through it? You feel me? Like, I was like, this is crazy. But honestly, y'all, I'm telling y'all 100%. I personally feel like dude is Gatorade throw the towel in. I think that he's done, especially because you looking at a lot of people that's in the biz, and they're sitting there with them bracelets on their ankles and stuff like that. We ain't gotta go into that, but it's a lot of those people, hunty, that they rounding on up. And if he was on the same type of time that they claiming these other people was on, you feel what I'm saying? I don't see them allowing him to just, waltz on out or skate, honey. Like, I don't think they're gonna let him put them golden glides, roller skates on, and roll up out of there. I don't see that happening. And it's like I said, a lot of people, they want to see the best in people, and that's a good quality to have, where you look at things from a positive outlook, honey. But the world we live in, you got some real off people in the world. That's just the truth about it. Like, everybody is not out for your good. It's a lot of people, that they made promises to people. Like, they know, like I said, time and time again, that the youth, they look on TV, they look up to, these people, and they want to be, models. They want to be, actors and all of this other stuff, because it's the way that it's glorified and presented. But they don't really know what the cost is. Just, it's nothing in this life is free. You feel what I'm saying? That's why, even the Most High God say, choose ye this day who you gonna serve. You feel me? And the way that it's presented, and how these people get bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray I said led astray, is because their spiritual is weak, but they spend a lot of time edifying their flesh. So meaning, like, they're looking at these people glamorizing the life of, like, luxury and all this other stuff, and they think that all they need is money to make them happy, not knowing that emotionally and spiritually you need the Most High God to fill that void you might have. Because you notice a lot of those people, they be having all that money, but they be, going through it. on a mental level. They just be, you be like, dag, why isn't this person happy? It's because nothing that you could ever have is going to fill that void like the love of the Most High God. And then two, it's like the more and more that, like I said before, like on other videos, that you sin, you fragmenting yourself. So it's just like, it's you giving yourself to this, you giving yourself to that, and you just chipping away at yourself. You feel what I'm saying? So I just was like, I'm happy that they're talking about the whole situation. I also watched a bit of their live also where they was talking about, even though their daughter is 24, they still care about her. And as they was saying, as parents, like, you always going to be concerned. And I like that Joy's mom was saying, for the sake of Joy's personal business, that they wasn't going to talk about certain things, and they're kind of respecting her boundaries and space, because I feel like that's an important part of building trust with with their daughter and everything like that. I feel like that's an important part, you feel me? Because a lot of people have felt like Joy could have felt embarrassed before and all that other stuff. So it seems now that they're kind of being a little bit more cautious about what they put out and what they say or whatever. But they definitely made it clear that they're not gonna stop trying to get in contact with their daughter. They want to make sure she's okay. They mentioned how whoever she's still with, she's still being, I guess, what's the word, like, told what to do and who she could talk to and who she can't talk to, which I know for any parent that would be heartbreaking if in fact, like, you were not communicating with your daughter with whatever choices she decided to make. Like, I know that's hard for them, and they're like, he's gonna be in there, like, he's in the lockup, and she's out and about, but she's still not able to do stuff like communicate even with a good friend or her family, her friends and stuff like that. So it's because maybe she's believing the things that he's saying, or she's listening to him. He might be like, oh, don't talk to this person, and she's believing it or whatever. And they was basically saying like, they started talking about a little bit about where her mindset could be at, and that was very like wild to me. Like, when I believe what they saying, because who in the world would have a miniature model, y'all, like that by their window? Like, that's not normal. And a lot of people keep on trying to make this seem like this is like a everyday, a players will be players type of thing. No, this is not normal behavior, folks. And the more and more I like people are kind of like lax to off activity, that's how people start slipping more and more. Like, you give somebody an inch and they take a mile. So if you're not like, it's kind of like, you sitting on the couch, you on a date, the person just keep on, trying to yawn and lean their hand over, and they just start, to inch closer and closer, and you're not, pushing their hand out the way. You feel what I'm saying? Or pushing them like, yo, what's good? So it's like when you see weirdo type of time or weirdo activity, your spiritual discernment should be, ready at a certain point. You need to be like, I plead the blood of Yeshua. Like, no, I will not go for that. Okay, this is looking off to me. And a lot of people, they don't have that type of time. A lot of people, they their upbringing and stuff was very dysfunctional or whatever, and so they try to rationalize dysfunctionality. They try to make dysfunctionality everybody's actuality, and they're not realizing like, everybody doesn't feel like this. Everybody is not on this type of time, and everybody is not gonna go for this. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it just made me realize. Like, maybe it's like, I think, some of K's supporters, like, yeah, they are, when it comes to certain stuff, like, there are people trying to get clout, and some people clout chasing or whatever off of K, because him being, who he was in music, it came with fame or whatever. So it is people clout chasing. But that doesn't negate the fact that he is still responsible for a lot of stuff that's going on right now, yo. Like, there's no way that they could just, oh yeah, we about to just have all of these people. Like, you have to substantiate certain stuff, folks. And there are literally, you can look this stuff up. It's paperwork. When the try situation happens, there's going to be what is called Exhibit A, B, and all kind of stuff that's going to go on. And Joy's fam was basically saying, her mom and dad was basically saying that they want, they hope that they kind of air it on TV. But probably, I don't know. Like, who knows? They could. Maybe they may not. I mean, they mentioned that they did air it with the OJ situation. But OJ situation wasn't even on this type of scale of just offness, though. I don't know. They could not. Who knows? Excuse that in the background, y'all. I got people playing video games in the background of this house somewhere. But anyway, y'all, it's just a mess. Like, I was like, yo, and thank you to my honey that sent me that, okay? Like, I really appreciate you. You was trying to let me know earlier, and then I took the time when I had a free moment and I went and looked to see what you was talking about, and I was like, oh, girl, no. When I seen the tour is really gonna let you know, just by looking at the details, what type of individual that they're dealing with here. Because a lot of people think, I mean, you do have people out here that's doing the most or whatever. They want to be famous and the rest of this stuff. But that doesn't change the fact that K was on the type of time he was on, yo. Like, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't. So anyway, let me know y'all's thoughts. Did y'all see the tour that they put up? Do y'all now kind of have like an overstanding of what they're talking about? Because I knew, it was going to be some off stuff that came out, because I felt it like in my spirit or whatever, that it was going to be like some off stuff that was going to be coming out about him. But for me to see that, like, because they put it up, I was like, yo, this is why the people be like, listen, get all of the facts, because a lot of people, they talking out the side of their jaw, and it's like they don't understand that we're not dealing with regular smuggler people. We dealing with people that have they're dealing with influence, like I'm gonna say negative influences, principalities, and folks in high places. That's what we're dealing with. We're not, a lot of people they don't understand that. They don't have an understanding of that, because a lot of things when it comes to heavenly things is a mystery to some of these people, because a lot of people for their whole life, they head been in the sand, and they just think that, oh, stuff just happens. You still got people in 2020 that literally believe that, oh, stuff just happens because a person is this shade or this shade. No. Did that person come at you because they was influenced and they felt like you was on another team? Told you. Light versus dark. Righteous versus unrighteous. That's how it is. You feel me? Everything is spiritual. Whether people want to believe it or not, it's the truth. You would have to ask thyself, why would these people be doing this off type of activity if they were not into unrighteous things? The opposition of good is what? Why are they doing things that's contrary to the good book, which is the Bible? Why are they doing that? Because they want to spite the Most High God, period. Because nobody that is a righteous person is into this type of time. And that's how you could tell a person's character, is by the fruit that they bear. Why? You have to ask yourself, when you're going through the tour, okay, it's like, I get the folks that's saying, okay, people ain't telling the truth or whatever, but that doesn't mean anything when it comes to K's situation. Like, those people, they gonna be held responsible, because the Most High God, he misses nothing. Believe you reap what you sow. But that doesn't change the fact that a person, when it comes to the enemy, he can only have a entrance way into your life if you have opened up the door in whatever area of your life for him to step on in. So you got to think about that. It's KingBritneyChanel. You already know. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all go check that video out, and I will see you all soon on the next video. Be blessed. Hey honeys, thank you for watching my video, and if you haven't, definitely make sure you check out my Teespring, KingBritneyChanel Couture, where you can find my latest merch. I upload a lot of new designs frequently, so definitely make sure you check it out. We have mugs, we have wall tapestries, canvas art, pillows, fleece blankets, apparel, and so much more. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on my next video.